teachers, entrepreneurs, builders, nonprofit leaders, church leaders, and so much more. The culture, the hard work, and the values of these diverse communities have helped shape our vibrant city and enabled our economic prosperity. Black History Month reminds us of the power that every single person has to help remove systemic barriers and open doors to success that were once closed. In the City of Edmonton, we're no exception to this. We have a significant role to play in fostering equity and empowering community groups to create a safe and welcoming city for all. And one way we're making a difference is by participating in the community-led Black History Month initiative. And so this initiative is part of the city's anti-racism strategy and is made possible through partnerships with the Africa Center, the Edmonton Heritage Council, and the Edmonton Community Foundation. This year, funds were distributed to 23 projects celebrating Black History Month here in Edmonton. And these projects are creating connections, building understanding, and providing platforms for impactful discussions. And so we want to take these opportunities to move towards a future where everyone can enjoy a seat at the table and equal opportunities for success. So I want to offer a huge thank you to the National Black Coalition of Canada, Edmonton, for helping our city start Black History Month with energy and enthusiasm. And so in honor of your positive impact, I want to make a proclamation. I'd like to bring my council colleagues. I'm here with Councillor John Morgan, Councillor Tupar, you should come up here to the fourth proclamation. Just give them a round of applause. Thank you. It's always a fun official proclamation. Sorry, I almost knocked John in the face and you in the face. I won't move it around anymore. All right. Whereas each February, Edmonton commemorates the abundant history of Black Canadians and the remarkable contributions of local communities with African and Caribbean roots. And whereas the city's 2026 Black History Month's theme, Hidden Histories and Bold Futures, celebrates the positive impact of Black Canadians have made on our past, present, and future. And whereas events and activities throughout the month build understanding and foster well-deserved pride in local Black communities. And whereas the City of Edmonton is committed to learning from and empowering Black-led community organizations to ensure a bright future is accessible to all. Therefore, I, Mayor Andrew Knack, do hereby proclaim February 2026 Black History Month in Edmonton, Alberta's capital city. Yeah.
You're in the middle there. All right, this is yours.
All right. Okay, so that was this year's Black History Month proclamation from our mayor. Give him another round of applause. One thing I love about our new mayor here is his glasses. Everybody talks about his amazing glasses, so we'll talk about how I get some later. Now, I'm going to bring up from the University of Alberta. Anybody here from the U of A? Anybody here who went to the U of A? There we go. And I'm going to bring up Miss Samira Schultz. Give Miss Samira Schultz a round of applause.
I think I'm too short for the mic stand, so I'm just going to hold the mic. Hello everyone, my name is Samira Schultz and I am so honored to be here today. Thank you to Joy Thomas and NBCC for organizing this amazing opening ceremony, and it's been amazing hearing from everyone so far, and I've been genuinely so inspired. To say a bit more more about myself, I am a third-year honors political science student at the University of Alberta, and beyond my studies, I serve as the Vice President of Social Impact for the Black Students Association, the Vice President of Community for Women in Political Science, and I also am the co-chair of the Race Equity Council within the Office of Access, Community, and Belonging. Through this work, I've also had the opportunity to collaborate closely with elected representatives of the University of Alberta Students' Union and with faculty across the university. These roles have taught me what it looks like to turn values into practice, listening across difference, building trust, and learning how to move through institutions while still pushing them to do better. They have also taught me how to speak with intention, lead with care, and show up fully in the work. I grew up in Lac-La-Biche, Alberta, which had minimal Black representation, and I did not always realize how much I was craving belonging, and how much I wanted to see myself reflected. It was only later, in the communities I found here in Edmonton, that I began to understand how much of myself I still had to claim. Now fast forward to 2020, my family moved to Sherwood Park, and 14-year-old me walked into a massive new school, not knowing what to expect. On the way to orientation, I remember my mom saying, "Not many people will know you, and now you're just going to be part of the crowd." And that hit me, because back home in Lac-La-Biche, I felt seen, but mostly for my performances, because I sang and I was a competitive dancer growing up. And now in this bigger place, that recognition has disappeared. And I was left with a tougher question: who am I beyond what people see? And that shift pushed me inward. School stopped being just academics and became where I started to find myself, especially through activism. Still in grade 10, when I first got to Sherwood Park, I focused on fitting in, making friends. In grade 11, I found my footing through leadership and music, and something still felt missing though. So that's why in grade 12, in February 2023, I finally named what I've been feeling for a long time. Black History Month at my school was being treated like an afterthought. Instead of waiting for recognition, I chose to build it. That decision became Benemo, which means unity in Somali, a name rooted in my heritage and in what I wanted the space to represent. Now in its 4th year, Benemo is an annual Black History Month assembly, and each year, alongside my academic work, I return to my former high school to put it on while mentoring a team of incredible students through the process. I'm proud to watch them take ownership of the work and to see unity become something that is practiced and not just named. And organizing that first event changed my life. It gave me purpose and belonging, introduced me to incredible people, and actually Clint, he's going to be speaking at the BASI this year, I'm very excited for that. And it's also part of why I'm standing here today. 16-year-old me, when I started that event, would have never imagined that pushing my school to do more would lead to sharing my story on this stage. It taught me the power of community and the importance of creating spaces where people feel seen and valued. Now at 19, almost 20, because my birthday's at the end of February, I've been reflecting on those early roots and what they've grown into. I hope to become a lawyer working in international affairs one day. And has become clear through the work I've been part of. As the only undergraduate in the room filled with faculty and administrators, while I'm serving as their co-chair on the Race Equity Council, it's taught me how to sit with complexity and speak with care. At first, last year when I joined, I was nervous walking into these rooms, but over time, supported by the same faculty, they have mentored me and I've become steadier in that space. Not because I have all the answers now, but because I understand and know that I have earned the responsibility of being there. And one of the mentors who has shaped that growth for me and deserves this mention is Dr. Andy Knight. He's not in the crowd today, but I'm sure that many of you know him and the work that he does. And what started my first year as a simple email asking if he could speak at the NAMO, at the assembly at my former high school, grew into a mentorship that I deeply value. Today I have the privilege of working with him as his research assistant, and his guidance has sharpened how I think, how I write, and what I believe is possible in my political science path. And now the message I keep coming back to, as I think more seriously about the kind of work I want to do in law and beyond, is this. Starting with nothing is not a setback, and it's often the beginning of responsibility. When I was younger, nothing felt like absence, and now I understand that noticing what is missing is insight. It means you're paying attention, and it may be placing the work in your hands. Change rarely starts with confidence, and it starts with discomfort. A sense of something is being overlooked, a conversation that keeps getting avoided, and a community that deserves to be centered instead of treated as an add-on. In those moments, it is easy to wait, to assume that someone's more qualified is going to step in. But meaningful shifts often begin when someone decides the silence is no longer acceptable. And over time, I've also learned that leadership is not about being at the center. It is about building a center that others can step into. The goal is not to stand out, and it's to create a space where people can show up fully, and where curiosity replaces defensiveness, and where honest conversation can happen without anyone having to shrink themselves to belong. So I want to leave you with this, to think about this Black History Month and beyond. Pay attention to what you keep noticing. Pay attention to what keeps bothering you in a thoughtful way, and if something is missing, do not assume it's not your place to begin. Let that gap be your momentum to begin. Thank you.
Good work. That is Miss Schultz. Give her another round of applause. Now, I know we're dying to hear Megan again, so I'm going to bring Megan right up. Give her another round of applause as she comes.
Hello, hi everyone again. As you know, my name is Megan, and I just want to say I'm very thankful to be here. I'm very honored to be able to perform here today. Black History Month means a lot to me.